the promise of artificial intelligence in medicine, it's huge, right? We all have this image of a future where a doctor's gut instinct gets combined with an AI's incredible brain power to create a kind of diagnostic superhero. The idea is that 1 plus 1 equals something way, way bigger than 2. But is that what's really happening? We're about to dive into a massive analysis of 52 different studies to find out if this dream team is reality or if it's mostly just a myth.
So let's get right to it. Here is the big question we're tackling today. Does pairing a clinician with a powerful AI actually create a dream team? Is their combined performance truly better than what either the doctor or the AI could pull off on their own? This is the core promise of what everybody's calling human-AI teaming.
And that brings us to the main concept, human-AI teaming, or HMT. The theory, you have to admit, is beautiful. You take human strengths, things like creativity, intuition, experience, and you fuse them with an AI's strengths, like just raw, unbelievable analytical power. The result is supposed to be this amazing synergy, that 1 plus 1 is greater than 2 effect, where the team is just smarter and more capable than the sum of its parts. But as we're about to find out, the reality, well, it's a lot more complicated.
Okay, so the first and most basic question the research asked was this: does adding an AI to the mix actually help the human doctor? Let's forget about beating the AI for just a second. Does the team, at the bare minimum, do better than the clinician working all by themselves? Let's take a look at the top-line result.
And the answer is a pretty clear yes. On average, when you team up a clinician with an AI assistant, their diagnostic accuracy gets better. The team's performance is consistently higher than the clinician flying solo. So right off the bat, that's the first piece of really good news.
So how much of an improvement are we actually talking about? Well, the data from all 52 studies showed an average performance boost of about 7.1%. Now, that's not just a rounding error. It's a real, measurable improvement in accuracy. But a 7% gain, while good, might not be the revolutionary leap that some people were hoping for. And it turns out, even this number really depends on how the team works together.
And this is where things get really fascinating. It's not just about if you team up, but how you do it. The analysis uncovered 2 supercritical factors that determine whether this human-AI partnership actually works. One is the workflow, and the other is the doctor's level of expertise.
First up, let's talk about workflow. There are basically 2 main ways to collaborate. On the left, you've got what's called sequential mode. This is where the doctor makes their own call first, all on their own, and then they get to see what the AI thinks. On the right, you have simultaneous mode, where the doctor is looking at the patient's case and the AI's analysis at the exact same time. So, which one do you think works better?
Well, the evidence is surprisingly clear. The simultaneous mode wins. And this is a really big deal because it kind of challenges a core assumption in how we design these systems. The common wisdom, and sometimes even the legal requirement, is to make the human think independently first. But the data shows that seeing all the information at once actually leads to better decisions.
Now for the second secret. It's all about who benefits the most. The research compared junior clinicians against their more experienced senior colleagues. And the results were just fascinating. It's the junior clinicians who get a massive performance boost from having an AI assistant, while the senior doctors, they see a much, much smaller improvement.
This table puts it all together, and the numbers are stark. Just look at the top line. A junior clinician, in the best possible scenario, that simultaneous mode, gets a nearly 11% boost in accuracy. That's fantastic. Now look all the way down at the bottom line. A senior clinician, using that less effective sequential node, saw their accuracy improve by just 0.4%. That's basically no improvement at all. It really suggests that for experienced doctors in certain workflows, the AI just isn't adding much value.
So, we know the team is usually better than the doctor alone. But what about that original promise? What about the synergy? Does the team actually outperform the AI? This is where that whole 1 plus 1 is greater than 2 myth really starts to crumble.
And here it is. This is the punchline. While the human-AI team is better than the human alone, the research found that the team very rarely performs better than its best player. And in most of these diagnostic tasks, the best player...
This chart says it all. When you compare the performance of the human-AI team to the AI working all by itself, there's no significant difference. So what does that mean? It means that while the human gets a nice boost, the team as a whole doesn't actually get any better than what the AI could have done on its own. It's like the team's ceiling is set by the AI's capability.
And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. The researchers themselves say it perfectly in this quote from the paper. They warn us to be cautious about this popular belief in seamless integration and synergy. The data just doesn't back up the idea that you can plug an AI into a human workflow and automatically get this magical hybrid intelligence.
So, does this mean human-AI teaming is a failure? No, not at all. It just means we need to be a whole lot smarter about it. This isn't about hype, it's about design. The path forward is about intentionally building better teams, not just assuming they'll happen on their own.
So, what are the big takeaways from all this? First, teaming up isn't some kind of automatic magic. Second, and this is the big one, how you collaborate matters way more than if you collaborate. Success really depends on smart workflow design, and that means favoring simultaneous input. We also have to think about who this technology helps most, and right now that's junior doctors. Ultimately, the goal shouldn't be some mythical perfect synergy, but effective real-world augmentation of human ability.
And all of this leaves us with one final thought. For years, the debate has been framed as a competition, human versus machine. Is the AI better than the doctor? But this research shows that is the completely wrong question. The real question, the one we need to focus on to actually improve healthcare, is this. How do we design the systems, the workflows, and the training to build the most effective team possible? That is the real challenge that lies ahead.